Welcome to Lexivia English. Ready to take your English to the next level? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. So sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy the journey.
The instantaneous void. On a serene Tuesday night, billions of eyes were cast skyward. The moon, our familiar celestial companion, shone brightly, guiding ships, influencing moods, and steadying our planet. At precisely 22:37 UTC, it was simply no longer there. No explosion, no slow fade, no cosmic ripple, just an empty, star-dusted void where it had been for 4.5 billion years. The sudden, inexplicable absence sent a shockwave of disbelief through scientific communities, and, as news spread, a profound unease across the globe. The immediate observable effect was the cessation of lunar tides. Within minutes, coastal regions experienced erratic and unpredictable water movements. High tides, no longer drawn by the moon's gravity, began to recede, while regions experiencing low tide saw water levels drop far below normal. The very rhythm of the ocean, which had dictated life on Earth for eons, was instantly broken. Navigational systems reliant on tidal charts became obsolete, and ships in harbours found themselves grounded or dangerously adrift. Beyond the immediate tidal chaos, the loss of the moon had a more subtle, yet immensely critical, impact. The destabilization of Earth's axial tilt. The moon's gravitational pull acts like a stabilizing gyroscope, keeping our planet's tilt relatively constant at approximately 23.5 degrees. Without this lunar anchor, the Earth's axis would begin a slow, irregular wobble. This would not be immediately perceptible, but its long-term consequences would be catastrophic for global climate. Tidal chaos and seismic shifts within hours. The full impact of the absent lunar tides became apparent. Without the moon to generate the predictable bulges of water, the sun's gravitational influence would now be the dominant, albeit weaker, force on Earth's oceans. However, without the reinforcing lunar pull, these solar tides would be significantly smaller and less consistent. The ocean's energy, previously dissipated through tidal friction, now manifested in chaotic internal waves and currents. Coastal ecosystems, from mangrove forests to coral reefs, which depend on regular tidal flushing, began to suffer immense stress. Intertidal zones, once vibrant habitats, were either permanently submerged or left exposed to the sun and air, leading to mass extinctions of localized species. The Earth's rotation speed would also be subtly affected. The Moon's gravity has been gradually slowing Earth's rotation over billions of years, a process known as tidal braking. With the Moon gone, this braking effect would cease, while the immediate change in day length would be minuscule, perhaps milliseconds. Over geological timescales, it would contribute to a slightly faster rotation, impacting atmospheric circulation patterns and the Coriolis effect. More ominously, some geophysicists theorized that the sudden release from lunar gravitational stresses could trigger increased seismic activity. The Earth's crust, no longer experiencing the constant rhythmic flex of tidal forces, might undergo minor but widespread readjustments, leading to a slight uptick in earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The climatic cataclysm unfolds as weeks turned into months. The subtle axial wobble began to manifest its true power. While the Earth wouldn't instantly flip on its side, the angle of its tilt would start to drift erratically over decades and centuries. This meant that the amount of direct sunlight received by different regions would become highly unpredictable. Regions accustomed to temperate seasons would experience wildly fluctuating extremes. Summers could become impossibly hot, leading to widespread droughts, crop failures, and devastating wildfires. Winters, conversely, might plunge into unprecedented deep freezes, making agriculture impossible in once fertile regions. The equatorial regions could experience swings from intense heat to surprisingly cold periods, while the polar regions might sometimes receive more direct sunlight, leading to accelerated ice melt, or conversely, be plunged into perpetual twilight. These radical shifts in temperature and solar radiation would decimate global ecosystems, plant and animal life evolved over millennia to specific climatic conditions would struggle to adapt. Mass extinctions would accelerate, leading to a drastic reduction in biodiversity. Human civilization, intricately linked to stable climate patterns for agriculture, water resources, and settlement, would face an unprecedented crisis of survival. Forced migrations on a scale never before witnessed would begin as billions sought viable new habitats. Night's true face and biological disruption. With the moon gone, the nights would be profoundly darker. The faint glow that permeates our darkest nights, even from distant cities, would vanish, replaced by an unsettling, absolute blackness, broken only by starlight and artificial illumination. This would have a significant psychological impact, but also practical consequences. Nocturnal animals, many of whom rely on moonlight for hunting, navigation, or camouflage, would be severely impacted. Their populations would decline, disrupting food chains and further unraveling ecological balances. Humanity's reliance on the moon extended beyond its gravitational pull. Many cultures and religions have woven the moon into their very fabric, marking time, celebrating festivals, and telling stories based on its phases. The sudden, permanent absence of this celestial anchor would create a deep sense of loss and disorientation, forcing a re-evaluation of fundamental beliefs and practices. Furthermore, some biological processes, from the reproductive cycles of certain marine creatures to the internal clocks of various plants and animals, are subtly influenced by the moon's phases. While not immediately catastrophic, the long-term absence of these cues could lead to further disruptions in species survival and ecological harmony. A new, unforgiving Earth. Centuries after the moon's disappearance, Earth would be an almost unrecognizable planet. Its climate would be a maelstrom of extremes, with unpredictable shifts, making long-term planning for agriculture and settlement incredibly challenging. Deserts would expand, new ice ages could develop in previously temperate zones, and coastlines would be entirely reshaped by the chaotic remnants of solar tides and the effects of a volatile climate. Human civilization, if it survived, would be radically different. It would be a civilization defined by adaptation, resilience, and perhaps a deep, collective sorrow for the loss of its ancient companion. Energy would be focused on climate mitigation, resource management, and survival. The night sky, now devoid of its brightest beacon, would offer an unparalleled view of the distant universe, a stark reminder of the cosmic forces that shaped our world and the immense, quiet power of the celestial body that once protected and stabilized it. The earth, forever unmoored, would continue its solitary, unpredictable journey through space.